Okay, I just want to talk about some logistics before Mike talks about the actual repping. So the paperwork you hand in today is going to be what I'm going to be using for assignments. How many of you repped last year? How many of you repped before anywhere? That's helpful. So I'm going to go off of this sheet when I make the assignments. We have about 50 reps. Seems like a lot, but around USA Cup it gets kind of quiet and people are busy. So sometimes I'm struggling to find reps. Especially the first week is really tough because I can't have anybody that hasn't repped before. So I might try to put some people that haven't repped before on with the experienced reps. If you haven't repped before, you will be placed with somebody that has repped before, so it won't be random for you. So if you don't get any jobs that first week, don't worry about it. You'll get some. It might take a while to get everybody in. If your schedule changes, you can just email me and say, oh, I'm going to be out of town this week, can you fix my paperwork, and I'll go in and do it. Or else I'll have it down at the park most nights, and then you can change it. Either I will be down at the park, or one of Mike's soccer players, that's a male though, he'll be down helping me a couple nights a week too. And also my son will be down. So you can just contact anybody. There's always going to be somebody down there if you have a problem. And it's on the west side of the park, and there's a little table there. At that table is where you're going to sign in. That's your timesheet. If you don't sign in, you don't get paid. But you're going to have to sign in because that's going to tell you what field you go on. So always go to the west side of the park, and they'll say you're on red field at 7 o'clock and maybe gold field at 8 o'clock. It's very simple. So every game that you rep, you need to sign in. So if you rep 2 games, you sign in 2 times. It's really simple. Let's see. Payment. You'll get paid. Oh, everyone stopped and looked up when I said payment. You'll get paid twice during the summer. Once after 3 weeks. Then I do payroll and I submit it. Sometimes it takes 2 weeks before they get paid when the checks out, especially the first time. And then you'll get paid again at the end of the summer. More experienced reps or returning reps are going to get more games, probably, which is fair, because they worked here. Some of them worked here. Sarah, how many years have you repped?
It's my 4th year.
4th year. But she's going to camp too, so she doesn't have to work every night. And Eric has worked a lot. So it's not like this huge money-making thing where you're going to be making hundreds of dollars. But you guys, this is huge because this looks great on a college resume when you're not thinking that far in advance. The fact that you can boss little kids around, you can boss parents around, and you can boss coaches around, it's kind of fun. And to put that on a resume that you're in charge of a game is huge, I think. I would look at that and think that's a real asset. And I do have refs come back to me, and coaches, teenage coaches, ask for letters of recommendation. So I'll do that. There's a lot of new people, and I'm also in charge of 200 coaches, about 60 are teenage coaches. I can't remember all your faces, so just when you come up to say, hey, I'm Brooks, and I'm here to rep tonight, so I'll try to remember your names. Okay? Any questions about that? Look, if they do come up, there'll be a question or answer session.
Okay, well, welcome. I'm gonna get it started here. We have we'll be here till about 8:15, so just 1 more hour. I'm gonna start with the 5 most important things, and then after that, I'll review the handout that you have. I won't read verbatim the entire handout. Most of it's self-explanatory, and a lot of what we'll be covering in these 5 important things are in the handout. Okay. So the 5 important things that I'm going to be talking about are your whistle, your voice, your knowledge and application of the rules, your positioning on the field, and your ability to address and handle conflict effectively. Okay, so those are the 5 most important things that I'm going to be covering tonight. And then we'll have a nice Q&A at the end. We had a really great Q&A last night, and I think that provided for some enriching discussion and ultimately advanced the knowledge base further. Okay, so whistle. my biggest pet peeve, so I'll be down there the first week. Again, my name is Mike Navarre, head coach at Augsburg, providing some oversight for the ME Rec program, kind of a sort of a soccer guy, if you will, kind of looking at things, okay? Looking at the repping, looking at the coaching, things like that. So I'll be down there the first week pretty actively, and then after that it'll be kind of sporadic throughout the summer. I already mentioned my daughter plays there, my son refs there, and so I'll be around a little bit, okay? I'm always available via email and cell phone. You have a concern, a question, just hit me up, okay? So, your whistle. My biggest pet peeve is this. It's like everyone's like, huh? Maybe I'll do a little louder. Huh? Okay? I thought Kid had a great line last night, and she referenced kind of theater. If you're extroverted, introverted, loud, quiet, fair enough, but you have to play the role. The role that you're in is an authoritative position. Okay? So we don't need a loud whistle all the time. It doesn't have to be like, go Kid! Okay? It's obvious, we know that. But when would be an appropriate time for a sharp, quick, loud whistle?
Penalty kick.
Good. Foul in the box. Point right to the spot. Boom. Okay, hey, this guy's got it. Great. When might be another appropriate time for a loud, sharp whistle? Paul.
The end of a match.
Yeah, I like that. Just make sure everybody knows kind of the finale. That. Okay, it's good. I won't blow the whistle a lot tonight, but this is the whistle portion of this meeting, so we're gonna blow the whistle. Yeah.
Handballs.
Huh?
Handballs.
Not necessarily, but you want to make sure it's handball. Okay. So, no. What am I doing after my whistle? Dominic.
Making a hand gesture.
Yes, I'm usually projecting my voice. So it's handball. Okay? Another time that you didn't get, those were our good examples, is when it just goes out and in right away, right? Because you don't want them to keep playing. That happens a lot. It goes out, it comes in, and they keep playing, right? It's got to be balls out, red throw. Okay? So you don't need to practice a lot. Take a minute or two in your house. Just practice getting comfortable blowing the whistle. Okay? And then varying the tone a little bit. Did you mention penalty kick? You mentioned penalty kick. Sorry, you didn't. That was a great example of a sharp whistle. Boom. Okay? If it's just a throw in or it's a goal kick, maybe it's just goal kick. Okay? Try to follow up with your voice. You don't always have to use the whistle. Goal kick. Okay, but give a hand signal. Red throw, goal kick, got a corner. So again, maybe it's for you, maybe for some of you it's going to the theater. Reffing becomes a theatrical little production for you because you take on a role that you might not normally be taking on. That role of being loud and confident and authoritative. We need you to project that role. Okay? What should you do if you're not sure who kicked the ball out last? Let's say it's a throw-in around midfield. You're not sure who kicked it out. How are you going to handle that situation? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you don't know? Well, that's good that we know. Yeah, Chuck.
Could you ask somebody on the sideline?
Okay, let's talk about that. Should we start asking people for their opinions? Yeah. Okay, what should we do?
Just give it to whoever you think it went out on.
Yeah, well, what if you don't know?
Whoever's it's in their hat. I don't know.
Just do what? Just make a decision. Red throw. Just make a confident decision. In your mind, you're like, I don't know what that was. Okay? Red throw. And if they say, hey, that was off a green, what should you do? Just say, sorry if I missed it, but it's red throw. Respect the call, please. Okay? This is not a democracy. This is not a participatory, environment. You're making the call. Okay? Now, you could also restart play with how if you weren't sure. People that have refereed before, people that know the rules of the game, how would you restart play?
I just kind of let whoever grabs it.
That's actually not a bad example because who generally knows what's going on? Players generally know. And at this level, maybe there's 1 or 2 kids out of our 1,000, but at this level, they're going to be pretty what? They're going to be pretty honest. They're going to back up if they know it wasn't off, it was off of them, and they're going to grab the ball if they know it's their team's throw. So that's totally fine. You can also restart play with how? Drop ball. Okay, not through touch last, we're going to do drop ball. Okay? That's an option. I would prefer, generally, just make a decision. Do we keep score and have standings? Do we keep score? No, we don't. We don't keep score. We don't have standings. So what do we want to make sure happens the most? Well, yeah, have fun. Good. We want them to have fun. We want them to do what? We want to improve, we want them to have fun. We just want them to play. We don't want you taking up time instituting a drop ball or asking people questions. We just want you to play the game. Get the game going. Okay? So, your whistle, your voice. Project a confident voice. Work on inflection. Okay? Doesn't always have to be a loud voice. But if you're talking to a coach who's out of line a little bit, that's time to say, "Hey coach, respect the call, please." Not, "Hey coach, I really appreciate it. Get off my back." Okay? You gotta be comfortable projecting your voice. Okay? Your voice is going to dictate a lot. You want the players to get in the habit of respecting your voice. That will facilitate your earning respect. Okay? So your whistle, your voice. Dedication and application of the rules. I'm a little concerned right now, so I think you guys need to go on to Wikipedia and just learn the basic rules of the game. The basic common fouls. There is a typo. It says all common fouls are going to be result from a direct kick. We're not going to do that. We're going to play more real soccer. So you have to know what fouls are going to be. So look at your sheet right now. Look at your handout. Okay? And where it says game rules, free kicks, that's a typo. You're going to want to write, not all fouls are going to be direct. Okay? So what would be examples of an indirect free kick? Avery, you play the game at a high level. What would be an indirect free kick? Okay? Dominic, you've ref before? Nothing. Crickets. Okay.
A foul that's not like directly involved in the play, so like something happening on the side.
Obstruction, dangerous play are going to be the most common indirect fouls that you're going to call. Foot's up in the air near your kid's face. Dangerous play. And you restart with a free kick. Free kick, it's foul. And what happens to your hand in that moment?
It's indirect?
Indirect. How do you signal that it's indirect? Hand goes up. This is the signal for an indirect free kick. You have an assignment tonight. It's Wikipedia, know the common laws of the game. Indirect free kick. And when does your hand come down? When the player takes the kick?
Yeah.
When it becomes, like, for example, it has to hit another player. Once it hits another player, your hand goes down.
Yeah. Okay. Indirect free kick has to touch one other player before it can go in the goal. This is the signal for an indirect free kick. Okay? most of your fouls are going to be direct, tripping, pushing, holding. Those are all common fouls. Those are all direct free kicks. Okay? If it's obstruction in the box, how do you restart play? Paul.
Wait, do you mean like the attacking team commits the foul or the defending team?
Oh, good question. So the defending team is obstructing an opponent from getting onto a ball in the defending team's penalty area. How do you restart play?
Is that like an indirect free kick inside the box?
Good. Indirect free kick inside the box. Why was it not a penalty kick?
It's indirect.
Because it's an indirect free kick. All fouls in the penalty anywhere on the field that are indirect fouls are restarted with an indirect free kick. All common fouls that are direct fouls in the penalty area are restarted with what? If it's on the defending team. Good point. If the defending team, the attacking team is here, defending team trips a player in the penalty area, pushes a player in the penalty area, holds a player in the penalty area, how do we restart play? Penalty kick. Normally it would be 12 yards, this is the spot. At ME Rec it's 10 yards. 10 yards away are the penalty kicks. Okay? You gotta know the common fouls. I'm a little nervous right now about you guys. You gotta know the rules of the game, you're the officials. All handballs are obviously
Direct.
direct. All handballs are direct. Again, you gotta know the rules of the game. Okay? So your knowledge and your application of rules. You have to know the rules that are unique. So this is the third part, knowledge and application of the rules. It's one thing to know them, it's another to apply them. You have to know the rules that are unique to our league and the MU record. Okay? So, people that have refereed before. Give me an example of a rule that's unique to MU Rec. Huh?
No punting on goal.
Good. No punting for the, well, not on goal kicks.
Not goal kicks, but like
The goalie, yeah? What?
I don't know if it applies to all age groups, but at the lower, there's no heading.
Correct. No heading at 8s and 9s, no heading at 10s and 11s, no punting for anybody. You have another example?
Offsides.
Good. What about offsides?
It's for certain MU Rec teams in age groups.
Great. What age group has offsides and what age group or groups don't have offsides?
U12 to 14. I don't think doesn't have offsides. I mean, does have offsides.
What else? What about 10 and 11? So good. 12, 15, 14 has offsides. What about 10s and 11s? Offsides? Also have offsides. What about 8s and 9s?
Nope.
No offsides. So the rules that are unique to our league are no punting. Why don't we want punting? What's your name? Ava, why don't we want punting? Yeah. Good. Or even more, that doesn't feel good, but even more potentially, yes, good. So I'm just going to launch this projectile up in the air real high, and it's going to come down on this 9-year-old, 12-year-old. We're not trying to create that environment. So it's a safety measure. The 12s and 13s and 14s especially are not going to like this. They're going to want goalie wars. They're going to want to get the ball. They're going to see how far they can punt it. They're going to want to try to score and chippy, but we don't want, it's a recreational league. Most of the players haven't developed the proper technique of heading the ball. They're not confident in heading the ball. And in 10 weeks out of the summer, we're not going to make it a priority to try to develop that skill for everybody. We're just going to try to create a safer environment. Okay?
I was just going to say that because the fields are smaller, punting can also just result in going right to the other goalie.
Sure.
Just taking
Yeah,
a
I think that's a good, worthwhile point. Also, we want to try to facilitate their overall player development, and they will develop more if the goalkeeper will develop more if he puts or she puts the ball on the ground and tries to pass out of the back. You can still put on the, or she can put on the ground and kick it real far too. So there's that option available. But if they roll it out to a teammate or put it on the ground and pass it, that's going to develop that a little bit more too. Okay, so no punting, that's unique. No heading at 8, 9, 10, 11 is good. No offsides at 8s and 9s. Those are unique rules. We're also allowing, one of the things that's new to this year is we're going to allow, so this is new, so pay attention. We're going to allow coaches to enter the field at 8 and 9. Yeah, I just said that. Okay? One of my biggest pet peeves is, and a lot of kids came from Boulder Soccer or Lindale Farmstead perhaps, and I see this defender, goalkeeper. Guess where the ball is? Just guess. You don't know. I'm just play along with me. Yeah. Yeah, the ball's right here. Okay? And we got this player attacking, and this player attacking, and it's 8s and 9s, it's probably actually like this. Okay? And we have that shape. Okay? And I want the coach for the 8 and 9s to be able to come onto the field and say, hey, Ava, Luke, get up, get up, get up. Okay? We want this person going here, this person going here. Okay? Yeah, that's a better shape, right? With the goalie up. So we're allowing for the 8s and 9 coaches to come on the field to just to facilitate the communication. And for a lot of the 8s and 9s, this is their first introduction to kind of formal soccer, right? With a uniform and a ref and goal and nets and coach. So we're really trying to teach them the game. Hang on one second now. Who else is responsible for teaching them the game? You guys. So that's another thing that's unique to our program is if it's we're not going to call foul throw-ins on 8s and 9s. Instead, what are we going to do?
If they lift their foot up, just maybe after the player when there's like a good time, be like, hey, kind of last throw.
No, don't wait till after the play because if you do that, then it's going to persist. Correct it immediately. You're going to do what? Yeah, hey, that was a foul throw. You lifted your foot. Try it again. You need both feet on the ground. Now, not only does that person know, but everybody else knows. And if you can do that the first week or two, then we've caught it and we've taught it right away. So that's your job. Okay? You know, maybe they throw the ball in. I mean, I've seen all kinds of things. You know, you throw it in like this, throw it in like that. You know, just teach them. Both feet on the ground, both feet over the head. Okay? So that's another thing that you need, because your job is to kind of help them. That was off. Hey, this kid's standing 10 yards offside and is involved in the play, like maybe repeatedly. You're not his or her coach. Maybe say, hey, do you know the offside rule? You have to be even with the second to the last defender, and then once the ball is played, you can be behind that person. Okay? Why is it even with the second last defender, not the last defender?
Goalie counts.
Because the goalie is a human being. Okay? The goalie is a defender. Alright? I was reffing a tournament once. I was a little older than you guys. I was reffing this tournament. It was like a game was like 2-1. And the other, it was like a tournament. This team had to tie or had to win to advance. And so the goalie got way up the field here. The ball was here. And the defender was here. And the player was here. Goalie came up here. Ball was played to this player. It was offside or onside? It was offside. The goalie was up here. Normally the goalie would be here, right? It'd be fine. But the goalie wasn't there. He was not even with the second to the last defender. Make sense? That probably won't happen to you, but it's helpful just to, oh, okay, yeah, it helps you understand. Second to the last defender, not the goalkeeper. That's almost always not the goalkeeper. Okay? So yeah, those are unique 8s and 9s. Another major rule change for next year. I'm still in the knowledge and application of the rules part. is we are moving all games to 2 25-minute halves. We used to be 2 20-minute halves. When I first kind of took over to kind of provide some consultation, I noticed that the referees would do a check-in. And they'd get all the players up and they check them in, and and every game, this formal check-in. I said, we're wasting a lot of time with this check-in. Why don't we use that for a warm-up time or a practice time? And let's make the coaches responsible for making sure the safety of the players and the check-in is done. Okay? So, but we changed that now to 2 25-minute halves. Why do you think we made that change? So they can play more. Good. The coaches were having, some of the coaches were having a hard time with the kind of developing activities, even though I was trying to provide a lot of options and that help for them. Kids were kind of running up a little late, and they weren't getting much done in that first sort of 12, 15 minutes. So we're just going to extend the game. 2 25-minute halves. Question?
You're not going to do like equipment check-ins or the requirements, you're not going to deal with that.
So that's all the requirements are the same, no earrings, they need to have the same colored jersey. If they don't have a jersey, at least a t-shirt that's the same color as the team. The goalkeeper has to be a different color. Those are all the basics that need to be in place, and it's the coach's responsibility initially, but then it becomes whose responsibility? If you notice it. Yeah, it's your responsibility. Hey, you gotta go out in the field, you got some earrings and take those out. Okay? Hey, coach, the goalkeeper needs a penny. That'll happen. That'll happen. Coach, the goalkeeper needs a penny. All the coaches get a penny. There's extra pennies available where? Where you check in, sign off your game at the table, right across Hampshire Boulevard there. There's lost and found, a little first aid kit. You got extra pennies there. You guys should also be responsible for, now I'm kind of on sort of game management stuff, just making sure that water bottles are picked up from the game before and puddles are removed and things like that. Okay, I'm kind of straying away from my main 5 points though, so I want to get, so we covered the whistle, we covered the voice, and now we're on the knowledge and application of rules. Your assignment is to know the common fouls of the game, what's direct, what's indirect, and know the exceptions to our league. Okay? And then now the next piece is just, the ability to manage conflicts effectively. I asked this to the group last night. I won't tell you what they came up with. I'll tell you later. But what percentage of the time would you guys say, so raise your hand if you've repped before. Okay, so what percentage of the time would you guys say that, what's your name again? Anna. Anna, what percentage of the time would you say, everything's cool, there's no conflicts, maybe 1 or 2 complaints, but for the most part, everything's smooth, we're all good. What percentage of the time would you say that it's all good, there's no real serious issue or anything? Let's throw out a number. You've repped before.
7 reps at
Okay. Give me a number.
all but 1, I only have 1.
8%. 90. Okay, so it's for you, it's been 100%.
Like 99.
99. Since that was like back in 2015. Okay, so the other group last night said 90. I mean, it's a different percentages based on your experiences. Fair enough. Fair enough. That was great. That was your lived experience. But we're gonna just settle on 90 for 90% of the time. Like, it's all good, man. Mom, dad had their chair down. Kids are having fun. Coaches are positive. They're not giving you all kinds of grief. And you should go in totally confident, knowing that, hey, man, we got good energy down there. Every now and then, though, there could be a problem coach or a kid that's out of line or something, right? It could happen. So let's just review that quick. Coach is kind of riding you a little bit too hard in the first half, complaining. Maybe even coming on the field a little bit and it's not 8 or 9. Come on, ref, you gotta call it both ways. That's obvious. He's just a little too much in the first half. How would you handle that situation? Yes.
Tell them to get off the field.
Sure, if you're on the field, coach, you gotta get off the field. It's not appropriate. Okay?
Like if there's someone like next to you that there's like two refs every game, you could like get one of them, and then you could like ref with them.
Awesome. Get what? Get some help. Get some support. Okay? Maybe it's halftime, you got your 5-minute break, you go to the on-site supervisor, say, hey Joe, this guy at Field Reds, I'm repping the game, I appreciate some help. He's acting out of line. He's inappropriate. He's criticizing me constantly. Okay? Or there's a dad on Field 8, I don't know what's going on, but I would appreciate some help. Okay? Or, there's an experienced referee in a 2-person system next to you, that could be another example. And go to the on-site supervisor first. Okay? So get some help. Okay? Talk to the coach. If you don't have help, talk to the coach. Hey, coach, you need to calm down. Okay? If it persists, you can just stop the game. Rolling. This coach is out of line. I've asked him to stop 3 times. Game's over. Okay? That option is always available for you to terminate the game or dismiss the coach. Preferably you dismiss the coach. The coach's game's not going to be starting unless you leave. Right? That's how it would be in a real game, right? The coach would get a red card and the coach would have to leave the field, right? So that's what you would do. And if they stay, and then just end the game. Go to the onside supervisor. Okay? Does that ever happen? You've been like a lot longer than I have. Huh?
The red card at rec?
Yeah. Or a coach that was really out of line that you had to suspend the game or terminate the game or... It hasn't happened since I've been there, 5 years or so.
No, but I have had to stand next to a couple parents. All I did was, hey, how you doing? And they pretty much quiet.
So, this is potentially a hypothetical scenario that so far has never happened. Awesome, knock on wood. But you have resources available to you. The on-site supervisor, your voice, your confidence, your ability to mitigate that situation. Maybe it's a player. Okay, they got fouled and they kicked somebody really hard in retaliation. Hey, send them off. Hey, that's not okay. Take a break, or if it's serious, you're not playing anymore today. Okay? Yes?
My coach was red carded on MU traveling.
Okay? It happens more at the more traveling level. Okay? So yeah, I just made a good point there. I should have made it last night. Like, you get a kid who retaliates with a kick, just you can say, hey, send him off. Send him off. Take a break. If it's really serious, you're done for today. We're not keeping stats and red cards and filing reports and things like that, but it's serious conduct, and you guys know. Just, hey, you're done. Coach, he's done. Not okay. You can't kick people from behind or whatever. Okay? And I haven't seen that either. I've seen say, hey, you need to take a break. That 90% of the time, that's your way to go. It's kids, young kids, they're fired up, they're competitive. Just give them a break. Coach can calm them down a little bit. That's all you need. Yeah.
It's just like the goal of rec is more for fun. You don't keep score. If someone asks you, or a player, like, what's the score, what should you say?
Honestly, if it were me, first off, I don't like the it's just for fun score analogy. I hear that a lot. I hear that in the 6 and 7s all the time, moms and dads, coaches, we're not keeping score, it's just for fun. So it's not fun when we keep score? What is the message we're sending our children there? We'll keep score when it's not as fun. If we're out for fun, then we won't keep score. That to me it's not the message that we need to be sending her. Okay, so what I've advised the parents at 6 and 7 to say is, I don't know, it's not important to me. I'm more focused on your effort. But you're the official, you're effing you can say, tell them the score. It's 3-2 Black. Don't say, we're just having fun, we're not keeping score. Don't say that. Now you're setting the image, the message that something about the score creates this dynamic that is maybe not as fun, or it's more serious or more competitive. We want the kids competing. We want them to play hard. We want that to be what for them? Avery? Fun. We want that to be fun. We want to teach that playing hard is fun. That being really competitive is fun. Right? So, if you're me, I just tell them the score. I want to remind them, we don't post the score, but if you're interested, it's 3-2 Black. Okay? Yeah, just tell them the score. It doesn't have to be this secret. It's the score. You want to know the score. Don't de-emphasize it to try to emphasize fun. That's not what we want, dynamic we want to create. No question? No? Okay. All right, so let's go through the handbook now. Well, before we do that, let's get the names one more time. And maybe just something about yourself real quick. Okay? One more time in the names, starting here. Loud and proud. Luca. Give me something quick. You like ice cream? Love to swim? Just give me one thing. Okay, Luca likes ice cream. God, that was 9.
I'm Jackson. I like things.
Deep, Jackson, deep. Okay. Avery. Sorry.
I'm Avery and I have a dog.
Avery has a dog.
My name is
Franklin likes soccer. Dom. Sorry.
Well, my name is Dom. If you don't know, that's my dad.
Okay.
What? My name's Ben and I like to play hockey. What?
Ben, hockey player. Stanley Cup Finals is coming up.
Oh yeah. Who you got?
Capitals. Ovechkin. So Ovechkin's gonna get it done. Ovechkin's gonna get it done.
My name's Oliver and I play tennis.
Oliver, tennis player. Ben, hockey player.
I'm Augie, and I'm a goalie for Washburn.
Augie is a goalkeeper.
I'm Sarah. I like to sleep.
Sarah, likes to sleep.
I'm Paul and I like to eat
Paul, what do you like to eat, Paul?
food.
That's my preferred thing to eat as well. Okay? Ava's looking for summer, for summer.
My name is John, and I like riding my bike.
John likes his bike ride. Right here.
My name's Brooks and I like waffles.
I went out to breakfast today at the Longfellow Grill at my baseball coach at Augsburg, and he got a big old strawberry waffle.
My name is Micah, and I like cookies and cream ice cream.
Solid. That's a solid addition to the conversation, like it. Okay. Make sure he gets everything he wants. Just kidding. Okay, right here.
My name is Colin and I like cookie dough.
Colin, cookie dough. It's not quite as good, but that's good.
Kirsten and I have 2 dogs.
2 dogs.
Oh.
What's up, Avery?
I was
He's got like.
I have 2 cats.
Oh.
I have 2 cats too.
Oh.
I'm Anna and I like tomorrow's Friday.
Anna, she's excited for the weekend. Hey, you know what? She's glad tomorrow's Friday. Little digression here real quick, little psychological factoid for you. Guess what day people report the highest level of happiness?
Friday.
Friday. Hasn't entered the working world yet. Friday. Well, why not Saturday? Why not Sunday? Friday, most adults are working. Why Friday? That's the #1 happy days is Friday.
Because you're happy that no
Yes! There, listen to this. This is good. This is the good stuff here. There's an anticipatory quality associated with happiness. So it's Friday, you're looking forward to the weekend. You're happy because you're sensing that something good is going to happen. That's a big part of your happiness. People report less happiness on Sunday than they do Friday, but they don't work on Sunday. What's happening on Monday? Work. So don't forget that. It's a life skill for it. Okay, back row. Let's finish up.
My name's Owen.
Owen.
Play tennis.
Owen's also a tennis player. Oh, you know, Albert?
Yeah, we're on the same team.
Same tennis team.
Don't play doubles?
No, play doubles.
I'm Charlie and I like cereal.
Charlie, what kind of cereal, Charlie?
Life.
That's a solid cereal. Solid. Hey, I don't want these kids to deter you from your affection for life cereal. That's a solid choice, man.
I like Lucky Charms.
And give us your name, though.
Alex.
Alex, and he's going Lucky Charms. Okay. That's basically dessert for breakfast, but I'm not your parents. Okay? Alright. So, part of the reason I really want you guys to know each other's names is it'll kind of improve the camaraderie. You may be reffing with each other. You're going to need to talk to each other on the field. Avery, whatever. You're going to need to get people's attentions. Ava, Avery, Brooks. Okay? Alright, so now we're going to kind of go through the handout. It's going to be pretty brief because we've covered a lot of it. Okay, so there's my contact information, kids' contact information. This is a job. Okay? Understand your schedule. If you understand things come up, you get injure yourself. Avery, what happened to you? Avery is injured. Okay? Your travel team game gets rained out, and the makeup day is when you're supposed to rep. What do you do?
Email.
Email kid?
Depends.
Let's figure this out. Dominic.
Find a sub.
Find a sub. So I'll be sending out an email, mass email, not like the ones you've been getting or got one, which has all the emails on it. So you can just use that email to just go in and try and find somebody. Now that's if it's, you're responsible for finding somebody ahead of time. If at 5 o'clock you fall down and break your leg, call me. I'll try to find a sub. Okay? So if it's the last minute and it's an emergency, fine. But don't call me at 4 o'clock and say, oh, I got a great chance to go to a movie, I can't sub, or I can't rep. And we have had that happen.
So email comes out that has everybody's email addresses on it. You're going to save that email. You reply all. Say, great referees of the world. Unfortunately, my travel team game got rescheduled on Thursday. I need a referee at 7 8 p.m.
Or if you know people on that email list, you can pull them out and use just those few. Then what happens is people go, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. So the first one that replies would probably get the job, but then I have to go back and email everybody else. So also, if Dom, you get Oliver to cover for you, I need to hear from both you and Oliver. So if Oliver doesn't show up, he said, oh, Oliver's going to work for me, and then Oliver doesn't come, I don't know who's at fault. It's you or Oliver. So you both need to email me. And I've had just really good responses and really good attendance. So it's wonderful. I appreciate people that take it seriously because all of a sudden there's a game with no rep. It's kind of hard.
Okay, on the sheet we have our contact information. We just reviewed what to do. There'll be an email coming out. You'll have access to everybody's email. You're expected to find a sub. If it's you get in a car accident, you get really sick all of a sudden, call Kit. Call, email Kit. Say, hey, I'm sorry, I just broke my arm. I can't, or I gotta go to the hospital or whatever. Okay. So,
somebody said that once. They said, oh, I hurt my leg and I can't rep. And then I went up to USA Cup and he was playing in the game the next day. Ooh, busted. So, just be honest. I mean, things come up.
right, one of my key points, which I think I either meant to, maybe I didn't mention it, but this key point is your appearance is critical, okay? Projecting confidence, all those things, but also having a watch, okay? This is not the image that we're trying to foster here. To a 45-year-old like me, and I show up and this is the referee's doing this. What do you think I think of that? I don't know if they're on Instagram or not, but that's the image of they're not taking it seriously. Or, hey, is that guy really on his phone right now? Okay, so you have to invest in like $10 at Target for a watch that's a stopwatch on it. Stopwatch. Some of you guys have been like, you just use a regular watch or use your phone. Okay, some of these, even though we're not keeping score, some of these kids take it seriously. It's 2-2 game with 10 seconds left. The coach has a watch on. They want to know. You don't want to just guesstimate. Nah, I didn't have this. I just sort of guessed. No, don't do that to them. Okay? So watch with stopwatch. You get it exact, 25 minutes. That has to happen. Okay? You can't use your phone to referee. Your phone is only available as a backup. Backup. Like, you lost your watch, your dad lost his watch, your mom lost his watch, your neighbor doesn't have one, like, okay. Alright, like, leave my phone, just keep time. Okay? Whistles are provided. You can purchase a uniform if you need to at the Planet Soccer. Kid may have some extra ones. So you have black shorts, referee jersey, soccer shoes or black shoes, and occasionally your referee shirt might conflict with the opposing one of the team's colors. Put on. What should you do in that situation, Ava?
Put a penny on.
Good. Put a penny. Where are the pennies located? Yeah. I can't tell you the number of times I show up. Referees in a yellow jersey, the other team's wearing yellow, and I'm like, you got yellow, and they're like, oh, gee, didn't know that. Okay? You can see colors of the team when you walk up to the field. That's part of, like, you step out of the field, you're on right now. Okay? Puck goals need to get moved. Is there a baby stroller on the field? Okay? Is there a dog running around without a leash? What colors are the teams? This is the stuff you're kind of processing because you're responsible for this environment. If your games, you have to end on the hour or a little earlier so the next game can get started right away. Don't go past the hour. Make sense? If you don't get your game started till 8:10, what should you do? Try, what should you do?
You should just speed everybody up.
You can like speed up time? Or like go back in time?
Or
Maybe I'm sorry, maybe I didn't understand.
or maybe you could
How are
like
you speeding up? Like it's 8:10.
just like have everybody go faster. Just like tell everybody.
We're all making fun of you a little bit. I think what you're saying is a good point that, hey, we got to get the game going. You're trying to hurry people up.
Yeah.
That's a great point. Right? You got to give them that. So maybe you misunderstood. The game starts at 8:10. So now what do you do? So how do you manage the time of the game?
On your watch.
Okay? Hey, these are all correct answers. You shorten the halves a little bit so that your game doesn't extend beyond the next hour. You got it, dude. So, you shorten the halves. Great. What else? what do you do then though?
Maybe shorten the break between like at halftime.
Good, you can shave off a little bit there. We're missing a key variable here though.
Inform the coaches.
Yes! You tell people. Go, hey, we gotta play 2 22-minute halves because we're running late. After you try to get them going. Okay? Hey, we're just gonna do 3-minute halftime quick so we can get a full 25 minutes in. You guys okay with that? Make sure both coaches are aware, and not just aware, but okay. Coach says, hey, no, I really want all 5 minutes at halftime. Just be like, okay, then we can only play 22 minutes at half. Most coaches are going to be fine, but this is not something that you should just have in your reside in just your head. Because what are they doing based on time? Yes, you said that? They're managing their substitution pattern. It's like, oh, you're going to 22, just want to stay on time. Sorry to tell you. That would be annoying. Okay. So, figure out, manage the time so that you stay on the hour and inform people of your decision. Okay? If it's really hot, this is all in your book, your handout, what might you need to do then?
Water breaks.
Add some water breaks. Okay, so that's all in there. Alright, so your appearance, you have a watch on the sheet, uniforms, job assignments, kid review that. Attendance, we reviewed that. Park arrival, we reviewed that. Make sure you sign in. Do not sign in for somebody else. Sign in for yourself. Payment, I think the kid reviewed that. $15 a game, you get paid twice. Twice a summer. Okay? If you're at the park and a game is called due to weather, you get paid. If the games are canceled before you arrive, no money for you. Okay? Tasks, other. Now I'm on 6. I talked about being mindful. Mindful is like being in the present moment. The U6 and 7 coaches are supposed to bring all the puck goals back to where? Table. Does that always happen? No. So you guys need to, maybe at halftime or you arrive a little early and your field is right next to the table, bring those puck goals in. They have a tendency to kind of walk away sometimes, unfortunately. So the more that we can just get those in early, right away, the better. So please be mindful of the puck goals and things like that. If you're revving an 8 o'clock game, what is your responsibility with respect to field management?
Bring in the flags.
Good, bring in the flags. Okay? Remind me, I need to get to positioning. That's the one last key thing, but we're going down the list here. Tasks, other, remember PDs are available, weather, there's a weather line, put that in your phone. Check your phone, it'll be updated if we have to cancel the games. Alright, so game information, all games are 2 25-minute halves, that's new for this year. Player uniforms, players should have shin guards, goalkeepers should have a different colored jersey. You don't have to do a formal check, that's the responsibility of the coaches, but you have to make sure that if problems arise, you notice that, you got to deal with them. Now I'm on the next page, game rules. All the games are 6v6. 8s, 9s, 10s, 11s play with a size 4, 12s, 13, 14, size 5. Yes?
I don't know if you addressed it, but let's say a team shows up and they've got 6, the other team has 5, and that's it. So what could you do if that happens? You could do a 5v5, but then those kids are playing the whole game. It's 98 degrees, that's pretty hot, but that's an option. Again, ask the coach what can you do? Or one team has 12 and one has 6. You could blend players. Some coaches are very protective and they don't want to let their players go and say, well, we need to discuss this because it's not fair to these players.
That's a great point. Some coaches will be like, no, I want to win. Other coaches are going to be like, yeah, whatever we can do to get a game going. We'll give you a couple players. You have to manage that environment, make sure the coaches are in agreement.
Lots of pennies at the table. So you come and grab pennies. The refs did that a lot last year.
Non-MU players are not allowed to play. However, MU players are allowed to play provided both coaches are in agreement. So 12, 13, 14 age group. One team has 4 players. There's a MU travel player hanging out. Is there for his younger brother or whatever. Hey, coach, do you mind if so-and-so plays? He plays MU. You know, we're not sure. That only happens in the case where we need to get a game going. It's in the best interest of just getting a game going. But the coaches need to be in agreement, okay? That tends to happen more in the 12, 13, 14 age group. They'll have 10 or 12 players on a team, but then 6 will go to summer camp together. And then there's a week where the one team has 5 kids or something. Okay, so occasionally that can happen to the 12, 13, 14 age group. All right, back to the rules. Offsides, balls, heading, we talked about all that. Substitutions, just know that. Slide tackling, this is unique to our program, so we missed that one earlier on what's unique to our program. There's no slide tackling. There's only sliding to play the ball, but if they get a part of the body, and so for our purposes, that's a foul. Because some of those kids are going to be upset. I got all ball! Okay, you're right, you did. Just give them that. You're right, you did, but there's no slide tackling at MU rep. It's a rule. It's a rule, okay? We want to create a safer environment, and the kids are going to develop a little better if they're on their feet. That's just the bottom line. Okay? But the ball's kind of away from someone's body and rolling out of bounds, and someone slides and plays it. You might hear a coach say, "There's no sliding." They're sliding to play the ball, but not sliding to tackle. That's the distinction, coach. Okay? You know your stuff. All right? That could be a gray area based on whether or not the person sliding is impeding the progress or interfering with another player, and you guys will have to make that judgment. The bottom line is, if there's contact involved, it's a foul for us. Free kicks, we talked about that. Goal kicks. Oh, this is another one. New to our rule, new to our level, is I want the goal kicks for the 8s and 9s to be taken at the penalty spot. Why? Good, yeah. Some of the kids struggle to get the ball out of the penalty area when you put the ball on the 6. So goal kicks for 8s and 9s, and they're not going to know this. They might put it. You say, hey, you can move it up to here. Okay, and if I really want to get the dots there or line there, but if it's not, then you can just say right in here. It doesn't have to be a real serious thing. Just come on up there, come up. Okay, that's good. Okay. All right, fouls. We talked about that. You have to know the fouls in the game management. Do a coin toss prior to the game real quick just to determine who attacks what goal, who gets the ball. If you don't have a coin, what can you do to solve that?
I have number 1 or 2.
Yep. I got number 1 or 2. What is it? 2? Yep. What would you like to do? Which goal do you want to attack or do you want the ball? Okay. So now I'm going to talk about the positioning. So now I'm at expectations of referees. Keep up with the play. Kit mentioned there'll be a lot of two-person assignments. One of my frustrations is when my biggest positioning frustration is when I see a two-person system and I see this. And the ball's like here. Okay? So ball's here. This person could be where or where?
You want a 2-person system?
Yeah, what do I want?
Like diagonal from each other?
Diagonal. This person is here. Getting the what?
Offside.
Offsides
And sideline.
and sideline and goal line. This person is coming up. They can come in the middle if they want. The ball's in here. They can come in the middle. Okay, and they can come up on their half. That's their thing. That's not my half. You're roughing the game. Go up and help your partner because your partner's the ball's down here. Okay, so ball moves up. He moves up. He finds who? Who does he or she finds? The second last defender. My other pet peeve is the ball's here and then the ref's here. Where should the ref be? Just go off the field. Go off the field. Okay? So two-person system has to be that diagonal. Yes?
What do you do if you disagree with your referee, your other referee, on a call?
Okay? If it's serious, like you really, if you had a closer vantage point, say, hey Bob, let's talk for a sec. I had red ball. What did you have? Well, I thought, no, okay. I saw red, oh, okay. You try to work it out with them. Generally, my advice would be to talk to your partner. Acquiesce, defer if you're not 100% sure and it was in their what? In their area. Don't come back from here, sprinting down here and telling this guy he's all wrong unless you like really know this. You know what I mean? Just let the person make the call, but try to make eye contact with them. They may seem a little unsure, they may look for help. But if it's serious, it's a penalty kick, this guy calls a PK, or it's wrong. Like he sees a high kick in the box, and your partner's calling a PK. Is that right? No? Hey, Tom, let's talk for a sec. Did you have a high kick there? Yeah, okay, that's indirect. It's not a direct foul. Oh, thanks. Okay, so we gotta start to play with indirect kick where the foul occurred. So great question, Paul. Dialogue. Talk to your buddy. Get their name before the game. That might be a little awkward, but like, just do it. I'm Paul. Okay? Who are you? Awesome, nice to meet you. I remember you from the meeting. You like ice cream. Okay, but it was cookies and cream and not cookie dough, and I'm on the cookie dough time. Okay? That way you can say, you don't want to say, hey, other person I'm refereeing with. Just say, Tom, come here quick. Let's have a talk. Okay? Great question, Paul. So keep up with the play. So now, if you're refereeing by yourself, you should be doing a diagonal, standard diagonal. So ball's here, you should be here on this diagonal. 8s and 9s, you don't have what? Outside, you can afford to be a little bit more towards where if you want. Good. You can be not in the middle, the ball's down here, but yes. Ball's here, you can afford to be in here now. So you don't have to worry about offsides. That changes when you're in 10 and 11, 12, you should be down here. You don't have to be right with the second last defender, but the angle changes a lot, doesn't it, if you're not kind of right there. So you got to really hustle, keep up with the play. Now if you're going to do this though, you're going to miss, you're over here, making sure you get offsides, you might miss what? What's going to be hard for you to see now? Huh?
Line calls.
Good. Ball goes out of bounds, boom, boom. You're not going to be able to see that. So what should you do prior to the game? You really keep a big hint there. Talk to the coaches and say what? Yeah, give me a hand. If it's out, it's kind of close. Give me a hand raise if I'm not near it. Should the coach make the call? No. The coach is indicating what? Ball's out or not. It's not for the coach to be like, it's out, red throw. I got it. Thanks, coach. I'll make the call. Just let me know when it's out. So you're doing this diagonal so you can get the offsides at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You're going to need a hand raise. So the players and coaches are here. Just be aware of that. Okay? Now, what if you're here, the players and coaches are here, you might miss some of these. Okay? You might say, hey, Mom, Dad, you guys give me a hand raise if it's out. I might not be able to see that. They're cool. That's fine. Okay, I'd rather have you do that than referee like this the whole time. that make sense? Because you're scared you're gonna miss a ball that goes out and in quick. And you're gonna miss all this action. Does that make sense? So keep the diagonal. Both parents are here, or excuse me, coaches and kids are here. Then when you're on this, balls over here, you're on this diagonal, you might miss, that's the only thing that you might miss. So maybe just pick out a mom, dad, looks like knows what's going on. She's like, hey, give me a hand raising this out quick, okay? I got you. Okay? So that's a little bit of the movement, keeping up with the play, moving, that's a 2-person, that's the difference between a 2-person and 1-person, and that's the difference between 8s and 9s and 10s, 11s, 12s, and 14s. Does that all make sense? You can be in 4 to be a little bit more towards the what, and 8s and 9s. The middle, just reviewing that. Good. Expectations, keep on the play, perfect, we just did that. We've covered all these. Covered all this. I expect you to read this. It's your assignment. What's your assignment? Benny, boy.
Wikipedia, learn the rules, and read this packet.
You got it. 2 things. I didn't read everything about the packet. Okay? There's some important information about weather and heat index and stuff like that. But we have a little bit of time left. I want to have a little Q&A. Concussions? You want to?
How many of you got your concussion training in? Every year you have to do it. It takes 22 minutes or something.
All right, well, you just got another assignment.
Background check if you're over 18.
If you're over 18, background check. If you're under 18, concussion training, even if you did it last year, read the packet. And know the common fouls of the game. Okay, let's have people that have officiated before. We did this last night. I thought it was great. Just give a little bit of advice, something that you kind of learned through experience. Give some advice to the people that haven't officiated yet before. So, Sarah, Sarah.
Yeah. I don't know. Make calls. I've had parents be like, "Thank you for calling the throw-ins," and I'm like, "Yes." So the parents don't care. Just make a call, and you're golden.
Yeah, we had it. Great. Yeah, great job. Don't be afraid to make a call. Just be decisive. Keep the game going. Great advice. Yeah.
Just don't be afraid to blow the whistle. Like that just on its own is actually really difficult. Once you actually get out there, you're worried you're going to get a bad call. So just don't be afraid to actually blow the whistle and make a confident call.
Good. Blow the whistle, make confident call.
I would say make calls if something dangerous or something, but don't be that person that's calling every single
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of. No, I shouldn't say a lot. So you won't. We'll get a few parents be like, "Billy, don't let him push you.
Yeah.
Watch the pushing." I don't know. That's like an American thing for soccer. It's like we have this big aversion to pushing. Hey, pushed him. Huh? Okay, it is a contact sport, but we're gonna have a discussion here. Okay, balls within playing distance. Balls within playing distance. Yeah. Balls within playing distance. You're refereeing the 12-14 age group. That's an odd age group. Let's just be honest here. Some of you hit puberty, some haven't. You got a guy who's like 6'2", and you got a kid who's like, okay? That can be a kind of a different, And balls right here. We got this guy. Balls within playing distance, and it's boom. Okay? Shoulder to shoulder charge. Balls in playing distance. Is that a foul? Hang on. Is that a foul on Saturday when we watch the Champions League final? No. This kid just blows up this other kid at MU Rec on July 8th. Shoulder down, balls within playing distance. How do we want to handle that? I'm being serious.
Stop play and be like, hey, let's calm down a bit.
So, even though it's not a foul at a more advanced level of play, for our purposes, we're going to monitor the aggressiveness of the contact a little bit. Is that, I mean, those are my words,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's what you're saying?
Yeah,
So hey, I know your shoulder was down, but that's a little too aggressive for this level. Are you, those are my words, not yours. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
no, that's what I was thinking, just like, yeah.
I agree with that. Okay? Now, two kids, 13, and boom, and who's back? Boom, okay? Do you call that? I would say no. So there's a little room there, right? Now, arms extended, elbows extended. Well, that's a foul. Make sense? I would err on the side of calling it if it's aggressive, really aggressive contact. But you don't have to call every little thing. And then you can always award advantage too. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is injured players. How do I want you to do with injured players? If the player is injured and near the ball, immediate stoppage. If the player is seriously, it's like you think it's really serious, immediate stoppage. If the player is injured but it doesn't look like hardcore serious and the team has a goal scoring opportunity, what do you think I want you to do? Allow the goal scoring opportunity, and then once the ball is out of play or at a safer location in the field, it's not a goal scoring opportunity. I should say safer, but not a goal scoring opportunity. Stop the play, bring the coach on the field. How do you restart play after an injury? Drop off. Good. Okay. Don't think no. So that's injury, aggressiveness. If it's aggressive and a lot of contact, you're probably going to call that a foul at this level. Two kids, kind of similar abilities, similar physical natures, playing a little bit hard, clean. You know the kids though, right? Like you know if it's escalating into something, serious or not. You guys will be fine. Okay? I asked this question last night. I was intrigued by the response. Do you think that some of the kids are just kind of out of control a little bit or not? With their bodies. Like they're kind of not really as coordinated and kind of there's some kind of that aggressive, competitive, physical kid that's not really coordinated or not? Have you not really seen that much? Huh? What?
I'm just not very coordinated, so they're definitely not.
Okay. The group last night was actually like, I think they're all pretty coordinated. Yeah. We have some disagreement there. And that's fine. I've definitely, and maybe you just haven't seen it, I've definitely seen the 13-year-old that's not quite coming into their body yet, playing really hard and running into people. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Hey, you just gotta be, you're a little too aggressive right now. I know you weren't trying to injure that person or trying to foul them, but just try to have to be a little more cautious or something. Okay, but you might not see or feel that. Other advice. I kind of got away there. Dominic, advice.
I could be wrong, but don't the newer reps start with the younger age group, right? Or the earlier games, when you're younger, you can't rep.
It depends. So if you're a less experienced rep, you could probably start with the 8 and 9-year-olds.
Yeah.
But you could also work a 10 and 11-year-old. If you're 16, I think you can work a 10 and 11-year-old.
So the advice would be, if you're starting with the younger group, if you're nervous, like you're pretty much most of the fouls, or there's not going to be many fouls. The controversial calls you're going to have to be making that you might think of in your head, you're not really going to have to make a lot of original things like blue throw, red throw, and that's far majority.
Most of the calls are simple calls, is
Yeah.
that what you're saying? Yeah.
It's easier than you think, or it was for me.
Yeah, would you guys agree the kids are, for the most part, good kids, coaches, for the most part, good people, we're all, things kind of under control? Back to that kind of 90% rule and 99%. I'm not making fun of you, but I was just kind of funny. Maybe we had like one story.
1 out of 100.
I'd love to hear about it if that was true.
One guy.
Other advice, who's refereed before? One more. Yes!
I would say don't be afraid to help out the kids because a lot of them don't really know what's happening, so you can help them on drawings and stuff, just like show them things.
Awesome. Don't be afraid to help out the kids, and also don't be afraid to help out who? Coaches' parents a little bit, particularly if they don't know what's going on. Hey, we don't have offsides at 8 and 9. Maybe you didn't know that. That's helpful. If the coaches' parents, offsides, offsides! You don't have offsides at 8 and 9. Oh, thank you. Also, help out who though? Yeah, help out each other. 2 weeks from now, you're on a, you got a game, and you're with Avery, and Avery has reps before, right? And Avery's an awesome person player, but she hasn't rep before, so maybe she might not be aware of the spacing on the 2-person system or something like that. So help each other. Okay? Last 5 minutes. Just a quick Q&A. Just questions from me. Anything kind of you want to make sure? Yeah.
What do you call it if the goalie does come?
Awesome. That's a great question. I would, we talked a little bit about that yesterday. I would just bring the ball back to the goalie and restart play, rather than give the other team an indirect free kick. Okay? And that's kind of my bad. I haven't been consistent on that. You could also just start with an indirect free kick where the ball bounces. And I don't like being wishy-washy because I'm like, we're not all on the same page. Like, that's not good, right? But there's that part of me that's just like, kind of game management piece. You guys okay with that? Ball back to the goalie. Hey, there's no punting. Put it down. Put it down, kick it, throw it, something else. Okay? Fair enough. Yes?
If we don't have the concussion training, how do we do it?
How do they access the concussion
You go to the
training?
Minneapolis United website, there's a link there.
Okay.
For you to find out. You can also go to, you could Google concussion training referees Minnesota. It'll bring it, it's called Heads Up.
Another game management piece is try to make sure that all the parents are on one side and the coaches and players on another. You don't have to be this field supervisor, police person, but maybe that's just a conversation that you have with the coach, like, hey, next time make sure you're on the same side as the other team. You want to keep the parents and players separate from each other. Other questions? We got 2 minutes. Good.
I have a statement. I forgot to say that I'll try to give the assignments out about a week in advance, if I can. So right now I have like 1,300 uniforms to count sitting at my house. Figure about 100 loads of laundry sitting there that you have to go through. I have to inventory and make sure they're all there. So it's going to take you some time, but I'll try to get it done by this Monday, your assignments. So I'm going to email you, say, Erica, you're assigned to Tuesday, 7 and 8 o'clock. Please confirm. Then Erica just has to email back and say, confirmed, or got it. You don't have to go, okay, I'll be there, and I'll be ready with my whistle. Just say, confirmed, got it. Yep, I'll be there.
I'll be walking around first week and yelling at you. There to help. We want to help. We're excited. We appreciate your involvement, and it's a great entry into the working world. The kid mentioned earlier, and it's great money. You get 2 games, $30.
We also hope to have the coaching
Couple hours
directors
work.
down. So Aaron Fay and Tama and Ben Linder, hopefully will be down there occasionally, weekly.
The week of the 4th of July, we have some days off. Other questions? Yeah.
Is it like unheard of to use like a yellow card?
No, sorry. It is unheard of in the sense that I don't know that I've actually honestly ever seen it, but it is totally appropriate. Like, if you think it's worth it, if you think it's, we don't have, like, if it's a red card, they're done for that game, they don't have to sit, like, the next game or something. I would say, hey, calm it down. I'm going to give you caution if you do that again. If it's pretty bad, I might older age groups, I get a yellow and tell the kid to take a break. 8 or 9, I don't know, you need to be showing out cards. You might just say, hey, you're a little too aggressive here, buddy. Just leave it. Coach, you can give a sub and calm him down,
Give a red
please.
card to 7-year-old.
So it's totally at your disposal, totally great if you decide to do it, but it's more the environment where we want you to talk to the player, talk to the coach, kind of de-escalate anything, but yeah, it's totally at your disposal, always. Good question. Yes?
If the younger kids heads the ball, how do you want to restart?
Great question. How do we restart play if the kid heads the ball? What do you guys think? What are you guys gonna do?
Drop ball.
Drop ball? Fine. Instead of, I like that. Yeah, drop ball. Instead of awarding a free kick, just say, can't head the ball, we're gonna do a drop ball. Okay, great question. These are awesome questions. Other questions? Yes?
How deliberate must a header be to do that? Because it could just like hit your head and then you're like, I didn't mean to do a header. I
Yeah,
was
great
just
point.
there."
Yeah, I mean, they kind of do one of these, and it kind of grazes off the head. You don't need to, I think it's kind of obvious that the person wasn't like, just let the play go.
Especially if they cry.
Just let the play go. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, kind of one of these, and, we don't need to stop the game. They're usually just trying to get out of the way. Yeah, you might not have to call out the whole season. Good chance you won't have to call it.
What if somebody scores on the header?
Well, hang on a second here. There is heading for the, what age group? Okay. So, they can head it, 12, 13, 14. And if an 11-year-old goes up and heads it in, if it were me, I used to be like, that was cool. Unfortunately, we don't allow heading, so we're going to restart play with drop ball, but that was awesome. You should play travel. I mean, actually, maybe not that part, but just say, that was really cool that you just did that. That was awesome, but I had to take that goal away because we don't allow heading because for safety reasons. Good question, Bob. It could happen. I mean, unlikely that an 8 or 9 or 10-year-old is going to go up and head one in, but hey, man, it's possible. It's not a bad, it's possible. Okay, anything else? We're going to end with the 8-year-old going up. Yeah, call another one.
What if a defender tactically uses the header to stop a goal?
Ooh. Ah. Okay. I would still, hey, there's no heading, got to restart playing the drop ball, and secretly compliment it and by yourself in your mind be like, smart kid. But I would just, at that point, you have to administer the rules of MU Rec. Not try to create some, hey, he was created a tactical advantage for his team, so I'm going to award the other team with a free kick. Don't make something up. Heading. Now, one thing you should do though, if he heads it here on the goal line, I'd probably bring the drop ball out a bit. What's that?
It has to be no other option.
But that's a good question. Yeah. It's a good question because it brings up the next level of careful not to create this sort of justification for something else other than what we talked about at the referee meeting, other than what the rules of the league are. Does that make sense? Guy does an awesome slide tackle and be like, what, I'm not going to call that because that was just really good. No, it's against the rules. Okay? What if a guy sticks out his hand, or a girl sticks out their hand and to deny a goal? Handball in the box, it's a penalty kick. Huh?
Is it the goalie?
True referee. Okay? Yeah.
If somebody kicks it and then it hits the goalie's head, would you just play it?
Yeah, great question. If it's a save, yeah, unless he was injured. I mean, I would probably stop play and just check on the goal. 90% of the time, person who gets hit in the head, you're gonna want to stop the game. Just say, hey, are you okay, coach? Come on, let's let the coach address that. Good question. These are great questions, guys. Last night, better than the other two last night. Dang, it's on video. You're gonna hear that. What else? All right, well, thank you. Thank you for coming, and thank you for giving your time, and have an awesome summer.
Just leave your clipboard and paper there, but bring your homework with you. So I want to hear your homework.